NASA's Project Gemini is often referred to as the bridge to the moon. It spanned the period between Project Mercury, America's first efforts to determine if humans could survive in space, and the Apollo lunar landing flights. Gemini demonstrated that astronauts could change their capsule's orbit, remain in space for at least 2 weeks, and work outside their spacecraft. They also pioneered docking with other spacecraft. All were essential skills to land on the moon and return safely to Earth. Astronauts for the Gemini program were pulled from the first 3 groups of astronauts, which were selected between 1959 and 1963 and totaled 30 men. These included Elliot C., born on July 23, 1927 in Dallas, Texas. Air Force Captain Charles Bassett, born on December 30, 1931 in Dayton, Ohio. And Marine Corps Major Clifton Curtis Williams, born on September 26, 1932 in Mobile, Alabama. Elliot C. was selected to serve as a backup crew member for the Gemini 5 mission alongside Neil Armstrong. During this mission, a heater for the spacecraft's fuel cells failed to function properly, causing a crippling shortage of electrical power. Flight Director Chris Kraft was ready to end the mission. However, C., who had expertise in fuel cells, convinced Kraft to give him 24 hours to develop a solution. He and Armstrong worked around the clock and were able to solve the issue, allowing the mission to continue. Armstrong stated, "He really worked hard on Gemini 5. He had good ideas and expressed them." C., along with Charles Bassett, was selected to serve as a pilot on Gemini 9. Bassett was assigned to the training and simulation as well as managing of operational handbooks. Fellow astronaut Walt Cunningham wrote of him, "What impressed me most about Charlie was his self-discipline. He was wound tight, dedicated, and had fine mechanical skills and undoubtedly would have made an excellent space pilot." Bassett was unofficially informed that he was in line for one of the early lunar landing missions following the completion of Gemini 9. Unfortunately, both C. and Bassett perished while training for this mission when their T-38 plane crashed on February 28, 1966, en route to the McDonnell Douglas plant located in St. Louis, Missouri. Clifton Curtis Williams was selected as a backup crew member for Gemini 10 and worked in the areas of launch operations and crew safety. In 1966, Williams was informed that he had been assigned as a lunar module crew pilot for a future Apollo mission. He died on October 5, 1967, prior to this mission while flying a T-38 aircraft over Tallahassee, Florida. Although he never made it to the moon, his brother indicated that astronaut Alan Bean, who replaced Williams on the Apollo crew, took a set of pilot wings and a War Eagle statue on his trip to the moon to honor the memory of the fallen astronaut. In 1959, NASA partnered with the Air Force, the Navy, and North American Aviation Incorporated to run the first test flights of the X-15 hypersonic research program. The aircraft flew over a period of nearly 10 years and set the world's unofficial speed and altitude records at that time. Information gained from the highly successful X-15 program contributed to the development of the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo piloted spaceflight programs, as well as the Space Shuttle program. One of the program's most prolific pilots was Air Force Major Michael Adams. After flying 49 combat missions in the Korean War, he completed test pilot school and aerospace research school. Adams was then assigned to work on NASA's Lunar Landing Vehicle program. This led him to apply for the Manned Orbiting Laboratory. He made 7 flights in the X-15 aircraft and eventually reached 0G, or weightlessness. His top altitude during these flights was a staggering 266,000 feet. On November 15, 1967, he took what would be his final flight in the X-15. While descending, the aircraft went into a tailspin and crashed, ending Major Adams' life. The Astronauts Memorial Foundation salutes and honors these 4 astronauts and the ultimate sacrifice they made for both our nation and the U.S. space program. Their contributions live on today as part of the foundation that was built to make human space exploration possible. For this, we thank them and will always remember them.